Welcome to LSC. It's sports time. I'm your host, Bob Hens. Today I have with me Muhammad Callers, who is a former football player at Hampton High School. Welcome.
How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here with us. And we need to let people know that you got a hold of me through the Facebook with Scotty Bowers.
Yes.
So we want other people to understand that, if you're on Facebook, which I don't know anything about, but anyway. But you didn't grow up in Hampton. You grew up in Newport News.
Yes, I did. In '81, my father moved from North Carolina to Newport News, Virginia, up in Denby, where we settled in for a while before we moved to Hampton.
Okay, now, so then you played rec ball and all. You were in the Newport News Rec League.
Yes,
Talk a little bit about that.
Well, the first year I played, I followed my brother, Rocky. He wanted to say, go out and play football. I said, Mama, can I play? She's like, I don't care. She didn't know what we was going to do. I guess she must have thought it was tag football. So she's like, what you going to play? I said, Mama, I'm going to play this line spot right here. What'd they do? I said, just run after the quarterback and hit him. That's all I knew. And it was so fun. I was like, wow, I'm going to do this again.
So you would just start off as defense and stick with it. Were you a pretty good sized kid?
I was very, very skinny and tall with a big head.
Well, you filled out quite a bit. But then anyway, you went to Dozier Middle School.
Yes.
And then from there, now did you play ball at Dozier, or you did something with the band?
I was a band. I played the tuba when I was at Dozier and the trombone. Okay.
And then when you went to Hampton, you transferred to Hampton. Did your dad move?
Yes. He moved. We came over and moved down Colonial Avenue off of Shell Road, and that's when we settled our roots at.
Okay, so then that means you went to Lindsay Junior High School.
Yes.
And who were some of your coaches and your teammates over there?
Wow.
I know you played ball over there.
Yes. We came to Lindsay. The first person I met was Mark Johnson, and I met Eric Hunter, who was this big, tall, wild kid. I was like, wow, have mercy. Who is this guy, And then we all went over to Hampton High School. That's when I met all the other players, because I'd never seen them. But I met Derek Smith there as well. Okay.
Now, when you went to Hampton, you was on JVs. Now, you were the first 9th grade class to go to the Hampton schools, high schools.
Yes.
Before that, it was 10 through 12. Now it's 9 through 12. So you're over there playing JV. And who was your coach over there?
Coach on JV was Coach Walter Brower, and Washington, Simon Gupton, Woodrow Wilson. I mean,
well, that sounds like all stars from Hampton High School, doesn't it?
I remember all those guys.
But see, a lot of people didn't understand that Walter coached football a lot before he became had the head job over at basketball. I ended up winning over 500
wins.
That's just remarkable. So now you're over there and you're playing, and you get to play defense. You got to love it.
I love it. It was hard work. It was, you first go to school, you learn, okay, what position do you want to play? You sitting there trying to tell Coach Brown, I want to play this spot. He tried me out at tight end, and Rick was the quarterback. Rick threw a spiral so hard, it whistles by you. And plus, he grunted when he threw the ball. He go, and they go, shoot, I'm not catching that ball, man. With Kenny Owens and everybody else was catching the pass, they had a call for about 2-3 weeks. They hit him right in the chest. I'm like, no, God, I have no intentions on catching this pass. So he was like, what do you want to do? I said, I want to play this spot right here. And John Mitchell, he was much bigger than I was, and that was his spot. So he said, okay, y'all two, let's go on and work something out. And we worked it out. John went offensive tackle, and I went to the defensive tackle.
There you go. And then you get to the varsity, you get to Danny Mitchell.
Yes.
A different guy, but very intense, right?
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that experience.
Danny Mitchell, he pulled 150% out you every second. It wasn't no walking or water breaks. He made sure everything you did, there was a reason behind it. In the fourth quarter, when you sit over there, everybody on their knees, you stand straight up with your chest out saying, okay, let's do it again. So they made sure that your idea, if you're going to be a big guy, you're going to carry yourself like a big guy. If you were 100 pounds or you were 300 pounds, you still are a big guy.
Right. And you're going to be in shape.
Yes.
Fourth quarter come, and that's what a lot of coaches talk about. But Hampton seemed to really do that, was to be able to know that come the fourth quarter, we're going to just be as fresh as we were at the beginning of the game, and the other team bent over trying to catch their breath.
Yep, and that's when we come in, is go ahead and start pushing you over scoring.
Well, when I had Dwight Vick in here, and he said, we intimidated a lot of teams just walking on the field. He said, we won a lot of games before the ball was ever snapped. Did you feel like when you guys walked out there that you were going to win?
Yes, confidence was always there. But I remember my 10th grade year, we went to Lafayette, and that's when they had the Beef Boys. And this is my first year on varsity, and those guys up there were huge. I was like, good God, and everybody, we're gonna beat these boys, we're gonna steam some crab tonight. And they did. I mean, but it was an eye-awakening experience because they really said, okay, we are much bigger than those guys. You figure off the bus, everybody not that big at Hampton, but we had a lot of speed and talent.
Right.
And those guys proved it. But then we came back the next game, Kickingham beat us, and I was like, can't lose no more.
And so you did.
Didn't lose no more. Had to run it all the way to state. That's when DeRock Kroom was quarterback.
Right, DeRock Kroom was quarterback. Yes. And then as your junior year, you go and you have a great year and you go all the way to the state again. So this is, I mean, here you are, 3 years at Hampton, and you're on a team that goes to the state 3 times in a row. That's just got to be unbelievable.
Yes, it was. I mean, I didn't know anything about losing because I always think about Coach Mitchell said, if they score on you, you're going to go back to the basics. The basics was like the summertime, you hitting the sled, doing all your basic drills over again, learning how to tackle. That's all you think about. I don't want nobody to score on us. I don't want to go this time again. I mean, that's all you think. No water break, and you think you're going to sit back. And it was like, wow, I can't do this stuff over again.
All right, now you go all the way to say, because I want you to talk a little bit about that game with T.C. Williams. You lost the game in the last minute, and I always said, here you have T.C. Williams with white jerseys and red pants, and Hampton with red jerseys and white pants. And boy, you talk about being able to get mixed up. And he threw the ball directly to a guy from the other team in the end zone.
Right.
And in my mind, I always said he was throwing it to the uniform.
Well, Tony Hyman was a little short guy back then, so. Unless he was going to make it a great leap to catch the ball.
Yeah.
You know, it was still a great throw. The game went down to the final minutes. We got a break on him when the punter hiked the ball over the guy's head, and everybody ran down the field trying to get the ball. So that helped us out a lot, you know. But it was a late mistake that cost us the game.
Well, but then you guys didn't hang your head, because then you come back, but you open up with a real good tab team.
Yes.
You got Terry Kirby, you got Chris Slade on that team. They got some pretty good athletes.
Yes.
And you lose it because you didn't have a punter. Really? Because you gave him great field position, right?
Yes, Rick was the punter, buddy. He punted the ball 97 yards straight up and 5 yards straight down after a great goal line stand. And Terry Kirby got a running start and dove into the end zone.
Yeah.
That proved to be the difference, you know. But
they didn't win the state championship that year.
Yes.
But you guys did.
It's hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year, and they had to do that with York. So.
Yeah. Well, talk a little bit about that. And I know for people who are not aware, but you got sick, and you didn't get a chance to play in the finals. You're there, but it's not the same thing.
No. My brother had came in, and I guess he must have bought a bug because he was in the Army at the time. He was stationed up at Fort Lee. And all of a sudden got sick. I had a stomach virus with the run and everything else with it. And so he's like, just stay home, just calm your nerves down. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. So he asked the other guys to step up for us.
And they did.
They did.
Did you guys end up winning that game? And I want you to talk a little bit about Eric Hunter, because everybody that knows Eric will talk about his intensity and his willing to win. I mean, he would get behind you and push you to get you to going, right?
As a matter of fact, you know, the first time I met Eric on the football field, Ben Hartsfield, they wanted him to be the center. And Ben like, no, I ain't gonna be the center. Ben was a guard, and Ben missed a block. Eric ran behind him, didn't know him. We still get chest and feel one another out. He walked behind Ben and just shoved him. Block this guy, block this guy. I'm like, who's this guy that's so tall and skinny? Oh, that's Rick, man. You know, everybody that knew him from rec league from Hampton, it told us who he was. So, okay, I mean, he's nice, tall, skinny, but he had such a willing to win. He was like, he's gonna, no matter what it takes, you know, and it proved in the game. If he throw a pass over somebody, he said, okay, I'm not gonna do it again. I'd rather run it for the first down and try to miss this pass, you know?
Right.
And that's what he did.
Yeah, but he was a unique individual in high school to have the desire and intensity that he had, and was not afraid to let his teammates know that, hey, okay. But now you graduate and you go a different route. You decided more schooling wasn't what you wanted to do. You decided to go into the military.
Yes.
And you're in the Navy, but that's not where you started off. Talk a little bit about that.
After everybody was leaving, Tony Hyman and Rick was the last two to leave. Tony went off to Howard and Rick went off to Purdue. And I'm sitting there saying, Ma, I got to find something to do in my life. She said, what you going to do? She didn't want me to join the military. So she said, why don't you just get a job in the shipyard and find it? I said, no. So I called my friend up. I went to Demi Elementary with me and him are still very close to this day. And he said, I joined the Navy. I said, well, did you? Give me the recruiter's number. So I called the recruiter up. The recruiter came and got me up. We sat down, took me back to Yorktown to his office, and we talked for hours. He's like, look, you're not going to fit. You're too aggressive for the Navy. I said, what do you mean? He said, because your mindset is like, okay, I want to do this and I want to do it my way. This is what I was taught, you know.
Right.
But in the Navy, it's all about teamwork, because you saying you're finished with your job, that don't mean you're finished with your job, because the best part about the Navy is if you're finished, you're supposed to go help someone with their job.
Right.
And so you will learn that, because he said the best way I can tell you is when you have your first drill, you're going to be scared. You're going to be going through the Suez. As a matter of fact, I found that out when we went through the Suez Canal during the first Desert Storm. And we in general quarters, it's between Spain and Morocco, like literally an arm length apart. And so we're going through, we're sitting there, the dude started crying. I said, why are you crying, man? He said, man, I don't know what's gonna happen. I said, for real? Ain't nothing gonna happen to you. I said, because we got subs that's already gone through, we got the carriers that's coming right through, and one already went through, we're straight. You know, I was on a supply ship there. So he said, no, I'm scared. I said, look, if you go down, what's your job? So I can do it, because if you can't do it, all it takes is one compartment to fall down and we're gonna sink. And I'm not trying to die today.
You gonna do your
job.
I'm
gonna do it. So my job was a shoring job. All I had to do was get the hammer and weld a piece of metal down and put it against the bulkhead to make sure it's still up. And his job was to hand me the stuff. I did like, wow. This is it's the first time I'm meeting these people going through the canal. I was like, wow, this is a totally different experience.
Right. So now, but then after you was in for 4 years, and this is a little something I just want to bring up because I got talking to you about it, but you were in a car accident, your head went into the windshield and you lost the side of your eye and optic nerve and all this stuff. But you still stayed in the Navy. I mean, here you were blind in one eye. How did you do that?
Well, I kept my medical record. And every time I tried not to get sick, but when you get sick, you got to go down to medical. What I did was, I'll say, okay, I have an appointment. And they said, where's your appointment? I always schedule my appointment over at Portsmouth Naval Hospital just so that my immediate command wouldn't find out I was handicapped in one eye. But when they found out it was time for me to rotate myself back out to sea, and I had got pink eye. And they said, okay, pink eye, they gave me the medicine. They said, well, hold on, what's wrong with you? I said, nothing. He said, well, your record here is saying that you're blind in one eye. You can't smell, you can't see, you can't taste. What's wrong with you? I said, nothing. He said, don't worry about it. You'll be out my military by next week. And sure enough, they got my green ID card and gave me a blue one and told me to have a great life.
So you retired after seven years?
Yes.
Wow. Well, listen, we're going to kind of wrap this thing up because this has been awesome to get a chance to sit down and talk to you. I know I called your name when you're doing some defensive stuff in the ball games, but talk about how much playing sports on football at Hampton High helped you when you went into the Navy.
Well, playing sports at Hampton High School helped me out in life, period. They, Coach Smith and his crew, made sure that there was nothing in this world that you cannot do unless you stop doing it. That attitude carried over very strong, because when I was in boot camp, it was like, okay, where's the rifles at? They gave me a little .22 and told me to hit the target. The target is like from here to the wall. And that's it? And they said, that's it. I said, well, I want to do something else. He said, you can go out there and run. He said, better yet, we got something for you. So they marched us down to the pool and told us to jump in the water. And I didn't know it was a trial for the SEALs. I said, no, God, I don't want to be a SEAL.
They're going to take your aggression and make you a SEAL, right?
This is what you want to do. I was like, no, I don't want to do that part of it. Yes. So I ended up not trying that out, and I said, I'll just stick with the basic parts of the Navy.
I want to again thank you for coming in and taking your time to meet with us today. I want to thank you for tuning in to LSC and Sports Time. Again, I want to thank my special guest, Mohamed Carlos. I'm your host, Bob Hens. Until next time.